Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Gladiator. Now, after my disastrous crystal opening yesterday, perhaps potentially the most damaging part was actually pulling the 6-star Gladiator. Right, that aside, obviously Gladiator was a community choice champion, and I fully intended to finally play around with him, showcase proper rotation for him, guide matchups where he does well, where he does poorly, and all that stuff. But in the process of actually recording gameplay and messing around and testing out Gladiator, I'm sorry, I no longer believe that he deserves a serious and a proper breakdown of his abilities, because what the actual fuck. Therefore, we are gonna start with an explanation of rotation and his core abilities and his core loop and all that bit seriously. And then again, I do not think any video covering Gladiator should be recorded without actually having a go at Kabam and Gladiator himself, because God, oh God, this pathetic man-child that consistently seeks confirmation and affirmation from everybody else in order to boost his own confidence still is pathetic. Right. So let's get it started. Let's pay Gladiator some compliments. Let's hope he does well. So the entire point of his kit is kind of like Wasp or America Chavez-like or Dr. Doom-like, where you chain in your heavy attacks to your base combo, and then you knock the opponent down. As long as they are under 2 bars of power, you place Intimidate debuff on them for 2 seconds, and then you effectively need to either hit them or their block to ramp up your confidence charges, which is kind of like your main currency. The problem with that is twofold. 2-second Intimidate is really short, and it feels, because it's really awkward and annoying to try and get those hits in. And the second thing is, evidently, after a couple updates ago, Intimidate seems to be doing fuck all and is no different from a placebo debuff, because AI will just consistently ignore the fact that they are intimidated, or at the very least, when you least will want them to. Like here, you knock them down, he jumps up and immediately throws a special attack, regardless of the fact that he's intimidated. Right. Still, that's your main loop. Combo into heavy, intimidate, hit them. The second thing that you need to know about Gladiator is quite simply, you want to activate your special attacks whilst you are unblockable. You do go unblockable past 12 confidence charges whenever you knock your opponent down with a heavy attack, like just now. And whilst that unblockable buff is active, you should activate your special attacks, because that will enable you to do about 80 or 90% extra damage from those special attacks, as we saw there in the form of physical bursts. So it does have a cooldown. The cooldown is relatively short, but still here. See, knock him down, activate special attack, sweet, do the extra damage. That is Gladiator's damage. This is about as well as he does. Yes, if he's awakened and in longer fights, you can get his damage up slightly higher if you go for level 3 and, if you get the persistent charges. But it's not a drastic difference, really. He's like a very shit-end definition of a ramp-up champion. Like, imagine if you kind of have to, oh shit, God, like, the best way to explain it, imagine if Aegon ramped to combo 50. I guess that's what it, as in, like, yeah. Or imagine if Morningstar had 1 persistent charge that you could earn. That's about the extent of Gladiator's ramp up. You get a wee bit of max potential ramp up, but nah. I'm sorry, I can't take this champion seriously. Who the fuck thought it's a good idea to release this as a community choice champion? Kabam has handled this champion about as gracefully as, I don't know, a horse sliding down a water slide. Like, Jesus Christ, how they no shame? Oh my God, this pathetic man-child that consistently seeks self-affirmation. And okay, you knock the opponent down 15 times. You rush in there, risking your life every time, trying to depend on that intimidate debuff. And a fair amount of time, you're going to get wrecked in the face, and something is going to go wrong, and AI is going to be fucking awful to play against. And for what? For what? Virtually majority of the viable champions in this game does way more, way better, way easier without that stupid ramp up. But hey, this was meant to be the cousin of the Hercules, the BFF of Hulkling, you know, the next CGR, the cosmic destroyer menace Superman-like character. People are saying finally we get 2023 version of Hyperion. Where the fuck is he? He's about as good as Hyperion would be if Hyperion had no power gain and no fury buffs and no regen. That's Gladiator. That's quite literally Gladiator. You take away power gain from Hyperion, you take away his poison immunity, you take away his regen, you take away his fury buffs, because again, with Gladiator you need to throw fucking million heavy attacks, you just don't get fuck all for it, and then, you know, you effectively get kind of like a vanilla Hyperion with nothing that makes Hyperion good. But hey, he still kind of looks like Superman, except he's an alien and he's a man-child that, you know, needs compliments and confidence to do well. Anyways, the point is, this was about as good a fight as I could do with him, and it's like 207. So 6-star rank 3 against Winter Soldier, 2 minutes and 7 seconds, right? So in this video, I also will take the liberty of comparing the Gladiator with the champion that nobody would call a cosmic powerhouse. Not really, not in the sense of damage, right? Cersei is primarily looked at as a defender. We all can admit that she is no slouch in offense department. You know, she's not a Korg, she's not a Kindred, but she's primarily a defender. You can get some decent numbers out of her. However, this should be the bare minimum mark Gladiator should cross, considering that he's defensive weasel, as in like he's useless on defense. He's border. As long as somebody learns how to evade his special attacks, Gladiator has like no defensive quality, unlike Cersei. So let's say that Cersei is a defender or a dual purpose champion. You know, a Gladiator as a community choice champion, as, you know, the cosmic powerhouse that he was meant to be, should be doing miles better than Cersei, right? It's like miles. Obviously, you know, he got 24 confidence buffs. He's all jacked up. Somebody told him this morning that his hair looks good. Then another woman complimented his bulge. He got his all of his confidence built up, and he really dug into that Winter Soldier, right? There is no way a tiny little Cersei eternal girl boss is going to defeat the big and mighty feisty Gladiator, right? Right? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look. How do you guys think? Like, place your bets. Who's faster? Who is faster? Is it Cersei? You know, again, a champion not wildly known as the cosmic, you know, frontliner, headliner in terms of damage, or Gladiator? You know, the community choice champion. So how do you guys think? Who won? 138. So effectively, Cersei is half a minute faster in a Winter Soldier fight. Who the fuck approved it? It's like, it's one thing to design a piece of shit, but it's another thing to actually approve it and let it come to the game. Jesus fucking Christ! Who's like, yep, I think people will be happy with this. Man, baby. Like, you know what? This is exactly the level of a champion the community expects. Like, obviously, we don't want to make another Hercules, but I still think this will call. Okay, fine. I can hear what you guys are saying in the comment section. I can hear you guys. Maybe, you know, Cersei ramps up better and Gladiator is better for short fights or something like that. Okay, fine. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's take a look. How well does he do? Like, I say that Deadpool's health pool is too small these days to test the champions, but if I'm testing 6-star rank 3s, I think it's a perfectly adequate representation of a Balrog's fight, right? Keep in mind that in this fight, Gladiator will have a significant advantage due to the Despair Mastery that I run, and I could have taken off if I wanted to be a cunt. If I wanted to be a cunt to this little blue balls smurf stupid ass looking alien, I could have taken Despair off just to kind of prove a point even better. I didn't. It's still going to benefit from Despair, thus mitigating the regen heavily. And I'm playing my little heart out the best I can. making sure special attacks are unblockable and all that other stuff. And look at that. Let's take a look at how he does. How does he do this Deadpool again? So 4 debuffs, 60% regen reduction, right? We're about to go for 4 more debuffs. Regen completely shut out. That's a huge advantage over Cersei. How long do you take to do this? 55 seconds. That's like Groot levels of damage, you motherfucker. He's a bloody tree and a meme. Okay, Cersei. Okay, so, 50, maybe it's a decent baseline, right? We don't know. Let's compare. Let's find. 55 seconds. It might be a decent, score. Let's see how well Cersei can do this fight. And again, Cersei doesn't have a way to mitigate the regen. So, this is a dual-purpose / defender type champion that nobody in the world will accuse of having too high of a damage or something like that. I mean, the damage is fine, solid, it's not awful. So let's go. Go! By the way, this was the 3rd time I had to record this fight because, again, I wanted to be truthful. I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to tell you. This was the 3rd time I recorded the Cersei fight against Deadpool. You know why? Because first 2 times, Cersei's special 2 crit, and the results were too unfair. I knew that if I'm gonna put in Cersei's level 2 critting and nuking down the Deadpool in like 25 seconds or 30 seconds, you guys are, yeah, but Cersei's level 2 crit and it doesn't crit often or something. So it's like, you know what? I'm purposely gonna go back in again, record another fight with Cersei until she doesn't crit on her level 2, and then let's see who's faster. And again, push through the region, push through everything with no crit on level 2. And she had a level 2 ready. Even if Deadpool had another 50k health or something, she still would have nuked him down within seconds because she had another level 2 ready. And this was 42-second fight. Still significantly faster than Gladiator, even though she can't mitigate Deadpool's regen, even though I specifically recorded a fight where she didn't crit on level 2, and she had another level 2 ready. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Community didn't vote for this garbage. I think... How? Again, this is without harping at anybody specifically. And again, I think it's perfectly fine thing when, you do a shit job at something. You design a champion or you design something else or you work on something and you just fuck off and you do a god-awful job in general and it doesn't work out and it isn't great. And, we all have off days. I get that. What I don't get is how it actually ends up in the game. It's not like, even when I screw up a video too much, I will re-record it and redo it. Or make a different idea, or make a different video if I don't think it's coming, together well enough. But in like a major company, right? It genuinely feels like this was like a first attempt at whatever the fuck is we're gonna put together, and here we go, because whatever they put together is a pathetic little man-child that does nothing. Again, there's no immunities. He's absolutely recoil unfriendly. The only kind of quote-unquote interesting bit about him is that he has 200% increased ability accuracy to personal buffs. And okay, power drain and burn effects, but yeah, whatever. No real immunities to speak of. That Intimidate, again, is arguably currently, because Kabam never changed the AI, is the most useless debuff in the game, and it's also way too short. Even if we would assume that Intimidate does nothing, if it's a debuff, placebo, whatever thing, it's just too short in vast majority of the situations. And the rest of the kit is garbage. I'm sorry. They literally made Hyperion if Hyperion had no power gain, if Hyperion had no Furies, if Hyperion had no regen. And then, that's Gladiator. Yeah, pretty much, I think. Like, no power gain, no Furies, no regen, no poison immunity. And then we get Gladiator. So, I hope you learned a lot about Gladiator. Let me know what you guys think about him. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about